Three self-improvement tips that's actually worked. Let's get this thing off of number one. The first thing you want to do if you're going to go embark on this self-improvement journey is first thing you're going to realize that you are not at your full potential. When you realize that you are not at your full potential, it gives you grace and it gives you gratitude, but it also gives you fire and motivation to realize that I'm got so much more in me than I think that I do. And the reason that this is the first step, because if you realize that there is more for you, you realize that there is more for you to offer, you realize that there is more for you, you will then be able to start acting on it. The reason why a lot of people don't even work on themselves and improve themselves because they feel like they have mastered themselves. They feel like I know me, I know my flaws, I know my weaknesses, I know my strengths, I know this and I know that. But until you get into self-improvement mode where you lock in on focusing on yourself and your improvements and your strengths and your weaknesses and your disadvantages and your advantages and things that you lack and things that you actually do have, that will make a big difference in your life because it goes to push you towards something that you thought you didn't have. So the first thing is realize that there's more in you than you have, more in you than you know. The second thing that's going to actually work in this self-improvement journey is being able to learn everything. What I mean by being able to learn everything, you will never not need to know something. You will never not know everything. You won't. Whether it's another language, whether it's another hobby, whether it's working out, whether it's a different type of form, whatever it is, there is always, whether it's making money a certain way, there is always going to be a different type of way for you to make money. And it is up to you to fully lock in on that and say, hey, I'm always going to have something to learn, which means I can never get complacent, which means that I can never settle for where I am. If you know English, learn Spanish. You learn Spanish, learn Portuguese. You learn Portuguese, learn what else? Germany, then learn Chinese, then learn Japanese, then learn Russia. Then like there's always something else to learn. You have a book. Right, there's always something you could work on. You write one book, okay, what can I do on my next book that's going to perfect that? Okay, maybe it's the tone, maybe it's how many pages, maybe it's how many words. Okay, maybe I could format it, maybe the story could flow a little bit different. You do videos, the next video, okay, the thumbnail work, let me try to make another thumbnail, let me try another hook, let me try another call to action. There's always something. You work out, let me work on my form, let me try a different form, let me improve this, let me improve that. There is always going to be something and stuff that you can do to bet on yourself, to better on yourself, to bet on yourself. There's always going to be something that you can do to improve. Never think that you have arrived. You have never arrived. And the last thing, but certainly not least, the last thing you want to do if you're going to go on a self-improvement journey is put God first. I put God last because I want you to know the emphasis in putting him first. Putting God first in your life right there is a cheat code to life itself. The only way to master this game called life is to talk to the one and have communication with the one who created this thing called life. It's like playing Monopoly. The only way to beat everybody, to defeat every obstacle that come in your life, to defeat this and defeat that and to win this and to win that, is to talk to the man or woman that created Monopoly. Talk to him, okay, what does this mean? If this happens, what can I do? And this is just a little quick side note. That's why when people play Uno, that's why people always end up in fights. Because everybody have their own rules in Uno. You can only put one, draw four. You cannot put two. Well, you can put two because it's the same card. But what about if I put two reverses? No, you put one reverse down. So people have their own different rules. So when you go to the one that created life, you go to the one that talks about depression, anxiety, marriage, sex, lust. You go to the one that talks about comparison, envy, betrayal. You go to the one that experienced all of these and you go to the one that created all of these. Then you will have a better understanding of how to deal with these things. So if you're trying to improve your life, you have to go to the one that invented life, the one that gave you your life, the one that created this thing called life. You have to go to him and get in great covenant and get in a relationship with him to where he can be able to speak to him like, hey, you shouldn't talk to that person. Hey, You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this. You have to be able to talk to the one that created this thing called life. You talk to him, guess what? He's going to talk back to you. And not only is he going to talk back to you, but he's going to give you the cheat code on how to do this thing called life. So those are my main 3 points. You got to realize that there's always more to do. You got to realize that there's always more to learn. And you always got to remember that God should always be first in your life. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And until the next video, peace.